Nina, is one I want you to respond to.
Gosh. Okay.
Because this is another hard one. And what we talked about right now is inspiring the brain, the discipline to, get up and exercise. We're going to talk about the discipline in a different way now.
Okay.
Um, so one of the best pieces of advice I got a long time ago, and it's a biblical principle, it's a life principle, it's something that I think everybody will recognize, is this idea that you need to live in the present. Now,
Mm.
um, burnout happens when we are doing too much. All right, full stop. One of the ways that I've found you get to doing too much is looking too far down the road. If I'm looking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I'm anticipating the challenges that I'm going to have. I'm anticipating the issues I'm going to have. For me, it spikes burnout. What's your perspective on this concept of living in the present?
I mean, listen, I've definitely studied some Buddhist, you
Yeah,
know, policies, some concepts when it comes to meditation, but and one of them is be present, like be present in all things. So give what is in front of you your full attention. That is key, but it's also so hard. So hard. I know for myself, James, I have a long list of things to do, whether that's in my OneNote, whether that is in an actual notebook that I take notes in, whether that is in my phone. They're all over the place. So for the day, it's just about here are the things that I know that I have to get done today. And I have a true belief that whatever I get done, it might not be the full list. It might be the first three things that are on my list, but whatever I get done today was really only meant to get done today. And I've had to learn how to let it go.
yeah.
That's hard. That's hard when you say driven, right? Ambitious, someone who is looking to move the needle forward at every turn. It's like, okay, well, I've only gotten three things done. The list is 20. I've gotten three things done today. And it's like, man, okay, I really didn't accomplish anything. And it's like, no, you accomplished what needed to be done today. Tomorrow is a new day. Now, tomorrow is not promised. That's for sure. But what needs to get done has gotten done for today. So being present has really and present in all things. So that is if you are working on your budget, which just newsflash, it's not my favorite thing to do. But if you're working on your budget, be present in that time that you have allotted for your budget and work on the budget. So if that means silencing things, if that means going to a coffee shop where you could just zoom, just be one with yourself and just noise around you and nobody knows you, like fine. Be present in all things when it comes to your kids and time to make time for your spouse. Like in all things, be present. So scheduling time out to complete those tasks. Yes, the day comes up and yes, life goes on, but knowing that I have 30 minutes to accomplish this thing today and I'm going to do this thing and I'm present with it, it helps. It helps to kind of just alleviate some of my scatterbrain. I get creative sometimes. I'm definitely a future thinker. So I can hear a thought or see a word, and now I have a big vision of how things should go. And that's like, oh, 5 years, 10 years, 5 months, 10 months down the road. And it really doesn't help me focus on what I need to do today. So being present in all things, it takes that within itself, takes discipline.
So you can talk about Buddhist philosophy.
Hmm.
My go-to is Stoic philosophy. And one of the foundations of Stoicism is this concept of I should not waste energy on what I cannot control.
Correct.
So the other side of that is there's only so little I can control. Meaning of the universe of 100%, maybe 2%, I actually
Maybe,
can control.
maybe. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe 2%. But the one thing I can control is how I show up and how I respond. I can
Mhm.
control my actions. I can control my outcomes. I can't control my body. All the mechanism I cannot control that can be taken away. But I can control how I show up and I can control how I respond. And so living that has helped me tremendously take off the weight of worrying about much more than a day or two out. Recognizing that the Bible talks about every day has its own challenges. Why are you
Mhm.
worrying about tomorrow, right? Let tomorrow worry about self right now. You got to
Mhm.
focus on today. Tomorrow, when you get to tomorrow, if you get there, you will have the wherewithal to deal with the challenges of that day. But do not anticipate, do not carry forward your anticipation, because what you're doing there is you're putting a heavier yoke on yourself.
Absolutely.
You're weighing yourself down with things. And so living in the moment, Nina, is not just about seizing the moment. It's not just about getting your energies focused on one thing for me, but it's about limiting my anxiety. It's about limiting what I feel I have to solve right now. And it's about focusing on the very few things in the moment that I can control. And that has been transformative. It's been at least a 2-year journey for me down that channel. I'm not done yet. Of course, there are things um, that I express concern about every day. I will tell you, the entrepreneurial experience has accelerated this, right? Because you have concerns of the most basic kind every
Mhm.
day.
Every
It's a
day.
day to
Yeah.
day, week to week, month to month thing. And if you are not careful, you will find that you are worried about how I'm going to make payroll 2 weeks from now, or how am I going to pay taxes a month from now, or how am I like, you're going to worry about a bunch of stuff you cannot control. And what I've found is in doing so, you miss out on the opportunities and the blessings that are currently surrounding you. So, something Garen and I talk about a lot is, many times we're so frustrated that we're not seeing progress in our life. We're so frustrated, we feel like we've been abandoned in the efforts and pursuits we're in. But one of the things we reflect on often is, wait, if I really stop my anxiety and I open up my eyes to what's immediately around me, I will see many times that the answers to my fears are within reach. But because I'm so paranoid about what's going to happen a month from now, I'm missing out on the obvious blessings that are right around me. The answers to my fears, the answers to my anxieties are right around me. And so it truly is about embracing the moment. It's about being present in the moment. It's about being open to new
Mhm.
ways of inspiration, new people, new identity, new things in your life. And in doing so, I think we said it in one of our previous videos. You expand the real estate for a miracle, and if you do that, the rest is history. Any
Yeah.
response to that?
You have to be open though, right? And
You have to be
so
open.
you know, my mom used to say, you can't catch a ball with closed hands, like you can't catch a ball with
Yes,
closed
you
fists.
can't.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
Darren, I was
you're
like, you
holding
can't. You
tight.
gotta
Yeah,
be.
yeah. You're holding tight onto something. It's like God's trying to throw you something like, hey, I'm trying to
You
get it
just.
to you. And you're like, no, I'm struggling. I'm anxious. I'm all the things. It's like, wait, open your hands up. Just receive it. Just receive
Nina,
it. So
so hard, so hard. And I mean, you would ask the average person, are you in the zone to receive? Yes, I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm going to church and on the weekends and midweek. I'm doing all the things. I'm stroking the
all
genie
of it.
lamp. I'm going to
Yes.
the temple. I mean, you
Yes.
name it. You name it, I'm doing it. And people are walking around like this
Anxious.
because they won't let go of yesterday,
Yes.
right? And they're not ready to receive tomorrow because they're like this. How can anything happen with a closed hand?
It can. It really can. And one of the things is coming to some form of realization that, oh, my anxiety, whatever the thing is that's making me anxious, it really doesn't serve me anymore. What happens if I just let it go? Right? What happens if I just let it
Oh,
go? It feels so foreign, right? It feels so uncomfortable. You're so used to being amped up all the time
mm,
for you to
mm.
get to a point where you're like, "Oh, no, I don't feel stressed." Someone asked me, just the other day, "Do you ever get frustrated?" And I was like, "Oh, of course I get frustrated, but I also have determined in my life that frustration is for a moment." So similar to the conversation you and Karen had about feel the emotion and let it pass through. It's like the frustration is in a moment. And that means I have allowed someone else to control my emotional state.
Oh,
Please get out of here.
so
So,
so yeah. So that concept you just brought forward is something that we should probably just shoot a whole nother video on, because the reality is, we give over control of more than we would ever think.
yeah.
We just give it away to a stranger on the street, the person who cuts us off in traffic. We just relinquish control, right? And so that's a whole nother study unto itself. But you bring up a great point. One of the other things that, probably one of the hardest lessons, um, I learned through my Stoic philosophy studies, and this came at a really, critical point for me when I was feeling a ton of anxiety, ton of what's going to happen now, just those feelings. Forget the book, I was reading. I believe it was a Ryan Holiday book, but it talked about, rehearsing worst case scenarios.
Mm,
Now, imagine you are somebody who is already anxious. You're already feeling tight. You're already worried about everything happening. And as I read this, it said practice worst case scenarios and evaluate what happens. And I'm like, what? So I
yeah.
read and read and read, and I paused and I started saying, what if James, the business isn't working, you burn through your savings, and now you're gonna have to go to your wife and say, hey, we got to sell everything and move back in with our parents. What if, I just fall flat on my face, fail a bunch of clients, and what if? I'm like, okay, that I don't know how that helped me, right? And then I kept reading. And effectively, what it said was, by rehearsing worst case scenarios, most of which are probably not likely,
Mhm.
by practicing the worst case scenarios that you could think of, you've taken the power of their emotion from the anxiety. You've now harnessed the power because you felt, how would I feel if this happened? So if something eventually does happen, it would not be the first time your mind has contemplated.
Mhm. That's so good. That's so
Mercy.
good.
I wrestled with that thing and continue to wrestle with it, right? Because it's an ongoing pursuit. But again, we're talking about the discipline of the mind now, living in the moment, narrowing the focus to a view that doesn't overwhelm me. And it recognizes that of the 1,000 things you think are important, there's really only five. Let me focus on those five. Let me focus on getting to work, getting my kids to school. What's for
Yeah.
dinner tonight? Okay. The one or two important meetings I have today, and making sure I spend some time with my spouse before the night is over. That's it. That's a day. And everything else that happens in between, oh well, oh well,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? When you narrow it down to that, power you receive back, the energy you receive back is multiples of what you've given up.
Yeah, not just the
Multiples.
energy you receive back, but then how you're able to show up, right? So the
Yes,
energy you
yes.
receive back is one thing, how you're able
Mm,
to show up the next day is something else different. So now your battery, instead of being at, 45%, it's now at 65 or 75% in order for you to
mm.
now go and recharge at the 25%. So,
Yep, yep.
once you get to that point, it's like, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, today is good. Today was good. Today was good.
Mm,
I stopped saying busy and turned it into
mm.
full. So my days have been full, right? Full, things happening, full days.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I get to determine what busyness looks like, or what fullness looks like, or what determines a good or a bad day. I get to decide that, and it's
Mm.
not upon someone else. And oftentimes I hear people saying, "Oh, today was so busy, I didn't get anything done." And I'm like, that is very unfortunate. Like, very it's very unfortunate. It's like, but I do
Well,
believe you got something done. You got here to the office, right? You were able to attend so many meetings. So you got things done, but the viewpoint
mm,
of my day was so busy, or it was such a bad day, I didn't get anything done. It's like, "Oh, man, let's change the perspective," right?
absolutely. Absolutely.